Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great start to your weekend. A few days ago, I read about the tragic story of Alexis Fletcher. Alexis was a 17-year-old girl from Bedford, Nova Scotia, who took her own life after dealing with severe depression. It's a very upsetting story. After reading the article, I decided to, post it and share with everyone that I've been dealing with postpartum anxiety and depression for the past 6 months. After posting it, I realized if I really want to help, eradicate the stigma around mental illness, then I need to share more about my story. So here we go. On December 30th, 2016, our daughter Nora was born. Basically, after getting home from the hospital, I started experiencing quite a bit of anxiety. After about 3.5 to 4 months of worsening anxiety and pretty horrific insomnia and depressed moods, I realized there's more to it than, being a new parent or new parent anxiety. So I went to my family doctor and ended up going to see a psychiatrist who diagnosed me with postpartum anxiety and depression. Even though I knew I likely had it, it was still pretty hard to swallow, and it was hard to decide to start taking the medication. But after a few days of thinking about it, I realized if I had any kind of physical illness, I would treat myself right away. And I realized there's no difference between struggling with a mental illness or a physical illness. So I started taking the medication, and it's been about six weeks or a little bit more. The first month was pretty rough. I felt quite a bit worse before I started feeling better. But now, about 6 weeks in, I'm feeling a lot more like myself. So, what I've learned so far from this is that anxiety and depression is treatable. And, you won't feel like that forever. And you don't deserve to feel like that. So, at the time when I first started experiencing it, when it was at its worst, I didn't really feel hopeful. And I thought, I can't continue to live like this. It's no quality of life. And I was scared that I wouldn't get better. But I know that was the anxiety consuming me. Anyway, what I know now for sure is that, it is treatable. Um, that family and friends really just want to help, but because mental illness is still pretty misunderstood, a lot of people don't know how to react to it. And when you're the person dealing with it, you do get tired of trying to explain your story. It does get pretty tiresome, and it's really hard to explain because you're kind of confused yourself and it's something foreign to you. Um, but I just wanted to share more about this today in the hopes of, opening important conversations with each other and letting other people know who are dealing with any kind of depression or anxiety that, things are going to get better once you seek help. And so if you have any questions for me, I know the video is kind of all over the place. I'm a bit nervous. It's the first real video I've done. Anyway, I'm happy to share a lot more about this journey and answer any questions that anyone has. So you can either post below this video or send me a private message. And let's remember that we're able to create change. So by sharing our own stories, we'll help other people realize that they're not alone and that mental illness is very common and that it can happen to anyone. And, we didn't cause it. It's like a physical illness. It happens to you. Um, and let's really end this ridiculous stigma around mental illness. That's our goal. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and I hope to hear from some of you.